We're going sailing today. We're leaving our anchorage in Norman Island. There are some rocks just across the way that we can see from here, and it's just always completely crowded with boats, so there must be something cool going on there, we figured. And then our final destination should be Virgin Gorda if we don't.
Eyes like the ocean, I'm drowning inside. I never noticed how you hypnotize. Saying let's go, don't you wanna know? Let's go, don't you wanna know? Let's go, I don't mind.
Last week we did an overnight sail from Sabre to the BVI's, where we anchored on a secluded island, got a few boat jobs done, and snorkeled some pretty dope caves. We're going sailing today. We're leaving our anchorage in Norman Island. There are some rocks just across the way that we can see from here, and it's just always completely crowded with boats, so there must be something cool going on there, we figured. It is a dive and snorkeling site, so we're gonna stop there on the way, and then our final destination should be Virgin Gorda if we don't get distracted along the way. Yeah, I think Virgin Gorda is one of the more popular sites in the BVI's. There's the famous baths, and we thought we'd be wallies not to go there while we're here, so we're gonna go and check out what the fuss is all about. And yeah, we'll probably stay there for a couple of nights, but you just never know. We ended up staying here 3 nights. That wasn't the plan. We were only meant to be here for 1 night, but it was just so glorious. We picked up the hook and headed just 2 miles across the way to the Indians, not really knowing what we would find there.
Don't say darling, 'cause you'll fake it. Don't hide the tears, 'cause I know you're breaking.
And it turned out to be a rather spectacular snorkeling site.
Pain you've given, all this love and all this pain, you bring them from another world.
Another tear just burst from the side of your eye. And I know what you're saying, and I know it's a fucking lie. All this world, damn lie. All this pain.
The great thing about the Indians is that most of its beauty lies barely just beneath the surface, so it's a spot whose beauty can be accessed by snorkelers at most levels.
All this love and all this pain you've given, all this love and all this pain, you bring them from another world. Now the summer lies on my doorstep.
The wind was howling, so Jackson was quite keen to launch his kite. We headed upwind to Peter Island to make that possible, and we were flying.
All this love, damn lie. All this pain and those fine, fine eyes.
We also found out that winch handles float, which is good.
Oh. It's under the dinghy. Reverse, reverse. Come here, baby. Yes! Yes!
So as planned, change of plan.
First time in the dinghy.
So Jackson fancied a bit of a kiteboard. The wind was up, so Jackson thought he would get his kite out, and we went to an island called Peter Island, and as the name would suggest, actually we got there and the wind just petered off. So there's a famous bar here called Willie T's, which we actually visited the wreckage of the old one yesterday on Norman Island.
Go boot. The power will probably still work.
I know, little fella, I know. You'll be alright. And apparently it's a really fun bar. We sacked off the idea of going to Virgin Gorda today. It was too much to fit in. So we'll whiz up there tomorrow and enjoy the day. Yeah, this has got to be it.
If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Willie T's, not a bad spot to sip a margarita whilst admiring the view of your very own boat.
80 and I'm 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flat.
Made a swift exit before we were lured into the temptation of having too much fun, as we had some serious sailing to do the next day. On to one of the BVI's most popular tourist attractions, the baths, characterised by huge boulders scattered along the bay. So we basically sailed until we could make out some massive boulders on the land.
My eyes shift, thought to lost love, start to mix with falling hearts from trees of ice and stormy words.
So we may have just winged it and didn't actually have a single flipping clue where said baths were supposed to be. Turns out there's a few boulders on this end of Virgin Gorda. So the adventure begun with 40 minutes of clambering over rocks in search of the baths.
You can jump at it. This one's not slippery.
You can rest now, bring your head down. Bring your head down. Starting to show. Starting to show. Starting to show. Starting to show.
First bath I've had in 8 months. Guys, just letting you know, this place, it is the bomb. And I don't know why, actually I don't know why. And of course, upon leaving the baths, we found the entrance with perfectly manicured pathways and access points. Boring. Following Jackson. He's going the most ridiculous way.
Welcome back.
really the type to chill. We don't really get it. I know a lot of people like to look out for white sand beaches and turquoise water, but we get there and then we're like, well, now what? What do we do? We like to keep moving. But we came here because we did actually feel like chilling, because we're going to have a few action-packed days coming up. I mean, tomorrow, well, you'll see what we're going to be doing. But yeah, so we thought we'd come here and chill for a day or two. I can see the appeal, to be honest. But yeah, it was pretty sketchy coming in here. We were basically dodging coral heads, and at one point we were going to turn back. It was touch and go at one point, but I sat on the bow and stayed on watch, and Jackson kept a cool head, and it was definitely worth it. So look, we probably will end up exploring around here. We probably will get restless legs, but there seems to be some cool little outer reefs to explore, a few hurricane damaged resorts to go and loot, and yeah, some amazing white sand beaches around here, so might show you around. How was your swim?
Refreshing.
That's what I like to hear.
Jumped off the bow. Thanks for watching this one, guys. If it brought you some smiles, then please give it a red hot thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and share it around. This episode was brought to you by our patrons. Camera gear is not easy to manage on a boat. We've already gone through one SLR camera, we've gone through a drone, 2 GoPros, multiple gear along the way, hard drives, memory cards. But it is thanks to you guys that we can keep this series going. If you're keen to support this production, or finding Avalon once a week is simply not enough, join our Patreon crew for as little as $2 and get instant access to bonus content, and most of all, you'll get a chance to come on board Avalon in the South Pacific. Lots of love, guys, and see you next week.
We're at Richard Branson's Island. We're gonna try our luck at going in the dinghy ashore and see if Richard's at home, maybe go around for a cup of tea or a gin if he's feeling fruity today.
Really good.
Oh my god, Devo.
So I went to the Chandlery because they have a battery tester. Yeah, they're only 6 months old, and it's a little bit unnerving that their charge is just so low these days. I don't know if they're faulty.